Hello everybody, my name is Beard Grizzly and this is Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. This is the game I've been waiting 5 years for. This is definitely a big one for me. But that being said, I just honestly want to jump in. You'll notice that I have a continue option. I wanted to get my settings right, I wanted to make sure everything was good to go. So that said, we're going to start a new game. We're going to do it on Give Me a Challenge. I'm not going to do it on anything higher than this for now. We are not going to do the background video. There's a background video that's covered through all of this that will actually give you a background of Human Revolution, the game that's before that. As we go through this opening here, I'm hoping that I'll be able to give you everything that I can in terms of the story.
I once thought I could save the world. Now look at it.
In yet another augmented terror attack, 251 passengers aboard Sister Airlines Flight 451 were killed when an augmented passenger broke into the plane's cockpit and ruthlessly butchered its flight crew. Details recovered from the black box recorder suggest that the man may have been suffering flashbacks to the AUG incident. That horrible day 2 years ago when augmented people all over the world flew into a psychotic killing spree, causing the greatest loss of life in recent history.
Sometimes you just have to let go and embrace what you've become.
Not gonna go all wonky on us now, Hansa, are ya?
Well, if I do, McCready, I guarantee you'll never see it coming.
Agent JENSEN! Am I gonna have a problem with you?
No, sir. No reason to assume you would.
Good, because you are the only augmented operative on this team, and I intend to make good use of you. Listen up, all of you. We got a sandstorm barreling down our arse and we can't afford to make mistakes. We're going after this man, an arms dealer named Shepard. He's ex-Bell Tower, one of the Special Forces commanders who disappeared during the incident.
And he's come out of hiding. That cannot be good.
It's not. He's selling weapons and military-grade augments to terrorists. This is Aran Singh, the undercover agent who lured Shepard out of his hole. Best you see Interpol's got. For 3 years he's worked hard to get in tight with the Jinn, an Iraqi smuggling cartel that's infected the Eastern Hemisphere like a plague. Last week, our arms dealer sent a message to the Jinn, offering to sell them a shitload of black market merchandise dirt cheap. They told Singh to handle the buy.
They're not gonna like it when Interpol disrupts that party. Singh's cover really that good?
It is right now. We need to keep it that way. This is where the deal's going down. A half-finished high-rise hotel that's been abandoned ever since the incident. It's not a pretty picture inside.
Let me guess. Most of the laborers were augmented with heavy-duty industrial rigs. So when the incident hit, and they all went schizo, things got gruesome real fast.
And no one, except for some homeless junkies, have been inside the place ever since.
So what's the plan, Director?
Singh's meeting Shepard on the ground floor, inside the hotel's main atrium. He sent the bulk of his Jinn crew to the penthouse levels to secure a vantage point. I want McCready's team to take up positions overlooking the atrium and make the arrest. JENSEN, you're going in solo from the roof.
My objectives?
Keep the Jinn from joining the party. As far as we can tell, only one route connects the atrium to the penthouse level, a halfway decent elevator shaft. Here. I want you to block access to it.
Fine. Just cut me loose.
Do you plan on relying solely on your augments for this one? I'd recommend taking a little hardware, just to be sure.
And so it begins with the choices. We can actually go lethal or non-lethal. I know a lot of times I ended up going non-lethal only because the stun gun, honestly I'm still going to do that now, but if I went lethal, I almost recommend going lethal more than anything because of the revolver. The revolver is generally hard to get, at least from how it was with the first game, Human Revolution. It's also probably one of the most powerful guns that you can get a hold of, so a lot of times I would almost recommend picking up lethal and going with the revolver before going with much else. Combat rifles, stun guns, and whatnot are generally a little easier to come by, but I'm going non-lethal. It's just the way we're doing this. Second, I wanted to cover the story a little bit before I go further. Human Revolution saw this guy, Adam Jensen, basically being the chief security operator for Seraph Industries. He was the head. He basically went ahead and did a huge investigation that led to what was happening with his company that he was working for, as well as what was going on around the world. Basically, and this is a huge summation of a convoluted story that is Human Revolution, what you focused on, or what ended up being the focus, was the augmentations themselves. The corporations being able to manipulate what was going on with those augmentations, people being basically controlled and manipulated. And as you heard here in the video, this opening sequence, it ended up saying something about an incident that happened in 29, or not 29, 27, I think it was. This is about 2 years after the Human Revolution took place. But that said, the incident is where they had a biochip that was implanted inside of all augmented people, that if they went and got a replacement chip that was ordered by Lim, the guys that take care of all of these augmented people's needs, basically for any kind of... You're a computer. So basically, while you have these limbs on you, you need to constantly be reconfigured. You need to constantly be changed around or made sure that your diagnostics are okay. So there's a lot of different things that you have to be careful of when you own these things. So getting back to the point on what I was talking about, to summate, basically, Lim are the ones that distributed the chips. Other corporations were the ones that effectively went ahead and triggered the terrorist action, if you will, that ended up happening around the globe. And as soon as all these augmented people went absolutely nuts, basically you ended up having a whole lot of issues. It's effectively that case that makes the question of should you augment or not augment be the main focus of what Deus Ex is all about. Anyway, that's the kind of summation for the story. It ends, though, where Adam Jensen, and if you guys don't want to hear this, skip ahead a little bit. It ends basically where Adam Jensen effectively gets rid of the main people that are involved with the incident. The Illuminati are still... Yeah, the Illuminati. That's the thing in this one. We'll figure that out in a bit. But he effectively takes out all the people that are involved with the huge global incident that is Human Revolution. And that leads to this game. You'll notice that he's now working for Interpol. He's just trying to essentially stop what kind of powers may be. That's the main story behind this, so it never happens again.
We've got a UC in there. Might be easier to maintain his cover if he's not the only one still breathing when this is done.
Smart thinking.
Yeah, but if anything does happen to him, you'll be telling his wife. After you get out of the hospital, of course.
What about range? There's lots of wide spaces and high ceilings in there, but a number of tight and constrained rooms too.
So it's a crapshoot, really.
We're going short range.
Never was one to play the odds. Give me something I can use up close.
You got it. One last thing, Jensen. Singh said that Jin are using some sort of portable Wi-Fi device to boost communications. He's got a better chance of maintaining cover if you disable it.
I'll keep an eye out for it. But aren't we on the clock here? You said there's a sandstorm moving in.
There is, and we got the intel on this mission at the very last minute. So we're scrambling a little. If it comes to it, your #1 priority is keeping the Jin out of that atrium.
Copy that.
Time to put away your happy thoughts, gentlemen. We're approaching the target building.
You're up first, Jensen. Let's do this.
Task Force Actual. This is Knife Leader. Engage Hush drives and descend to Angels 1-5.
And in the future, Ospreys are you know, the plane of choice, apparently. Now, the big thing I honestly want to talk about real quick while we've got it, and I think this sweeping shot is perfect for it. The game's beautiful. I don't have the best computer out there to really essentially run this title. It took a little finagling and doing to make it work, but realistically, this is on high settings with high detail in all the background stuff. I have a couple other settings that are on here. I'm not going to get heavily technical on it, but it's definitely still a pretty looking game. But here we go.
Team leader, this is JENSEN. I'm on the roof.
Solid copy. Move into the building. The access route you need to block is at the far end of the penthouses. And keep in mind, the direct route might not be the easiest one.
Roger that.
McCready will advise once his team is on the ground. Miller out.
If it seems like I know this part a little bit, I'm going to bring this up real quick. Triangle codes have been hidden around the game. Scan them using your phone and Deus Ex Universe app to access exclusive content. You can find the triangle codes collected so far in the database under Square-Enix membership. Basically, these are different things so that you're able to see different databases and backgrounds from the previous game, or even ones that kind of tack on to the universe of this one. I just find it funny how there's a lot of Triforces running around in this game. I didn't know this was partnered with by Nintendo. Hey, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Again, if it seems like I know this part pretty well, it's because I do. This is about the 5th or 6th time that I'm trying to record this, between my capture software being an absolute bitch, and between the other issues that I keep having with the renders themselves. I really wanted to make sure that the quality was right for this title, and I think I finally figured that out. I'm hoping all stays well with it.
Jensen, we're moving through. Oh, fuck!
What's wrong?
The Gen have got a few Jennies up and running. We're gonna have to hack keypads.
You should enjoy it, McCready. They have colors and shapes.
So here you can actually see all your different augmentation abilities. Smart Vision, I think, is one of the coolest ones that they allow for, out of course, this whole thing.
Just remember, red means bad.
But that being said, it's something that's actively passive, which is also kind of cool. You don't need to turn this one on or off. You'll notice in the lower left, there's a bar. This bar, actually, is for your augmentation powers. Now, this is similar to what had happened with the first game, but it was only straight battery meters. It wasn't like this one where it was a bar and it was progressive. So it kind of makes it a little bit more interface worthy, I think. And not only that, it makes it a little bit less. To me, it makes it a little less. I can't think of the word I'm looking for right now.
Anomaly detected.
Anyway, this is hacking. You select a node, and you can actually now, with the buttons that they have, select a button instead. Like here, it'll say C for capture. So you hit C instead of having to do what I used to do in Human Revolution, which was click and drag over. It wasn't... Clicking and dragging isn't like it's hard, it's just a matter that it got a little annoying sometimes. It's hard to explain. The controls for it were definitely kind of flawed. It just didn't feel good. Anyway. Now, the downrange cover system is wonderful in this game. I think they really did a good job with it, and I think overall they've got a lot of good possibilities for moving from point to point. It kind of makes other games feel a little superficial in comparison. Splinter Cell would come to mind in terms of how they did their downrange cover system, and a couple other games that have had, downrange cover systems. One including Matt Hazard, which I always found was a really fun one. Inventory, hit tab to open, use by clicking on the item that you want, or moving around, use these items to cycle wheel. Yeah, okay. A lot of typical stuff going on here, to be honest. here, I think. The largest thing that I can really say about how the game handles here in the beginning, stealth-wise, this does take a little bit of getting used to, a little bit of timing. It's an incredibly fun game all the same, and it definitely has nothing bad that I can say about it. I just find this funny how I can stand right next to him and have that happen. Oh, he picked up on me. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Come on, you know you want to come out. Alright then, I guess this is a good time to activate this. So we can go into a stealth mode, and that stealth mode will literally allow you to take one shot before being seen. It helps for moving from point to point, and it really does make a big difference when you're on a full stealth run like I'm trying to do. Obviously, I totally screwed up. But that being said, it's... I'll do a little bit more hacking here. You can hack more than one spot at a time, like you kind of just saw me do there, which also is a helpful little procedure that they do. That way it doesn't feel like you're socked into one path along these hack lines. The largest thing with the hacks as well, though, you can, as you have seen the last couple times...
Jensen, Mac, listen up. Doppler shows that sandstorm's moving in fast. It's big, and it's gonna hit us hard.
God, I hate the fucking desert. Confirm visual?
I can. Time is not on our side.
Copy that.
Solid copy.
The pistol. The largest thing... No, I don't want the beer case. That can go over here. The hacking, though, has an option... Jeez, clicking on some of these in pain. Oh, wait, is it painkillers? Is that painkillers? No, it's not painkillers. It wants to lie to me. Straight lie to me. With hacking, you have the possibility to have a trace program activate. And if that trace program catches up to you, generally what you'll have happen is either people that are around the area will pick up on where you are. They're able to trace it back to it. That's the name of the program. Or at least it locks you out of that system for a little while. The original game, and I'm not sure if this one follows that or not, gave you a limit to how many times you could try to hack something. So we'll see if that still is the case here. Close return. This is just about stealth, which we've been trying to use pretty ruthlessly as I go along here. Now, one thing I haven't shown you guys yet is the takedown system. We'll give this guy just a second to walk away. And here we go. We have two options for takedowns. You can hold Q to, just like that one where he throws him out of the way. You can hold Q, in which case that would kill him, or you can also do a quick non-lethal takedown, which is just tapping Q. Realistically, they're the same exact thing. They do, the only difference, of course, is that the one guy is going to end up being dead. The other guy will just be merely asleep. The other thing to point out here, we've got a wide open door, but we just have a vent that flew down. You can jump really high in this game. Really high. So we have a couple choices, of course, as well. We can continue to go through this vent. I could double back and go through the door.
McCready, how you making out?
Slower than expected. It's like someone's tilled a fucking cemetery down here.
Say again?
When the shit hit the fan in 27, the rush must have been to the stairs. There's corpses everywhere. A lot of your cousins are here too, Jensen. You want me to grab you any spare parts?
No parts. But I take mine with cream and 2 sugars while you're asking.
No, there's nothing here, just sand.
Now you'll notice I'm actively trying to hunt these guys out. Besides, there's a couple reasons for that. One big one is that you get EXP, experience points, every time you end up knocking a guy out, killing them, whatever. You get different points based on where you hit them. So I try for headshots, but a lot of times with the stun gun, it's just a lot easier to just hit him in the body. Like here. Yeah. Now, what we should do is drag this guy over this way. Oops.
Jensen, what's your 20?
Working my way through the penthouses.
Remember to keep an eye out for the Jin's communications booster. If you can, disable it.
Roger that.
And of course, there's other things we can look into, like corpses. It's not morbid at all, is it? This is how the game does a little bit of world building as well. They'll give you newspapers and other articles that are hanging around for you to check out. Overall, I think it's a really good way to expand on how this all looks and feels. You guys can go ahead and take a read over this. I've got, if you want to, I'm going to leave it there, though. If you guys want to pause it, that's the best thing to do to read those articles. We got a set of steps. Let's go down. Who do we have down here? Got one guy, two guys. Now, the augmentations that you were given at the beginning of Human Revolution were very minimal. Of course, you were just trying to basically unlock the true potential that you had as an augmented. At this point, it was new to you. You were basically sucked into that lifestyle by a huge accident that happened in the beginning of Human Revolution, where you were basically taken into or shoved into a huge coma that effectively knocked you out for a good while. You were augmented with military-grade augmentations, which David Seraph, the owner and operator of Seraph Industries, had given you. Oh, I got a grenade. I like grenades. And what was good there is that it gave you the ability to unlock all the potential that you now have kind of stored up. But that hit definitely did a lot, unfortunately, to Jensen and turned him into what he is now. The other thing, you probably see me walking around using and just shooting the pistol even at close range. The pistol is a close range weapon. That's the one problem with the stun gun, is you need to get up close. But that's also the nicety with the stun gun. And make sure that, hey, you're forced to get up close. You are forced to make sure that these guys are down for good. You have a rebreather, so you can go into gassy areas and whatnot. Which also does make things a little easier to work with. Where'd he go? Okay. I'm wondering if I can get away with actually taking these guys out systematically. I should be able to. Dip over here. Wait for him to go that way. Okay, that's one down. Two things may happen here. One, I may have one of the guys turn around and take a look at him. Or two, they won't even notice that he's down. Next one we should go for is in the very back. So let's get... Okay. The stealth system that's here, of course, can really help me with getting into tight situations like this, which definitely is helpful. To some people, it's almost cheating. And these guys are now searching for me. Okay, he's close enough. I could go ahead and do this. Oh boy. Oh boy. And bounce back over here. Oh dear. Okay, we're gonna do this. I guess we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna move up top. Ooh, shit. Shit. Stop that. Whew. Okay. Now let's see. I say I could do something like this, and I've got a hypostim, so I'm going to use this. Hypostims will restore your health. Biocells will restore your battery for your augmentation, so you can keep doing stuff. Let's just get back into it. We're still going to be able to take these guys all out. That's the good thing. Actually, which one is it? Here we go. Now the Typhoon isn't exactly my my favorite or preferred way to take these guys out.
Listen up, everyone. Change hacked into the Jin's radio signal. Checking the patch now. We should be hearing Sing any second.
خليل الراجل
Come
اللي
around
علينا
the corner.
حاجات جايه كمان
Oh,
شويه.
you done.
روح قول لبقيه الناس ان انا هعصلكم.
Okay, one more.
وخليكم
We're gonna stealth up.
يعني منتظرين.
Patch is clean.
And there we go. That should be all of them.
I'll repatch us once the deal kicks off.
The other reason you honestly want to, in my opinion, go around, especially on a first playthrough, and take down everybody, is literally to grab their stuff. No other reason. By grabbing their stuff, you've got a lot of cash, you get a lot of extra items, and it gives you the availability to do what I'm doing now, which is searching. With all the extra items that are kind of hanging around, it definitely makes things a little easier as the game progresses. You could throw things, of course, to make it a little distraction, which I'm not good at. I'll definitely say that now. I do not proclaim to be the best at any game I play. Pick up a traffic cone and throw it. That would be kind of funny. Not gonna lie. As you also go around, you'll notice I picked up a pocket secretary. That's what these are. They will also have the ability to give you either codes or other information about the world as you go along. In this particular one, you'll notice, due to yet another power surge, the access code for the atrium doors was reset to 0682. So this gave me a code. Instead of having to hack the door, what I can actually do now is just use that code. And we found another one. Amada finally reached the Desert Jewel. This place is massive. Room for thousands. Some people that I met along the way, others like us looking for a new place to start over, have decided to join me. We've started to clean up what we can, but there is so much sadness here. Evidence of the incident is everywhere. Worst are the bodies. We've taken most of them and put them into the stairwells until we can figure a proper way to dispose of them. There is a lot of work to be done if we're going to call this place home, but I think this may be the place for my family. Tell my mother and father. And that's where it ends. So obviously this guy unfortunately got killed when he was typing that up. That's the shame that you run into with the incident that had happened 2 years prior to this game. It was not good. You were actually at ground zero when it happened, and that's the almost shameful part of it. About as shameful as me walking right up to that guy because I totally forgot he was there. Again, I've played this before. I want to get that absolutely clear, and I'm still screwing up badly. Now this room will have two things that I need. The other reason I'm not just doing the quick melee or the takedown a little bit more often, every one of these I want to make sure I open up, is because it does use my augmented battery. So without the battery, I can't do my stealth. I can't do silent runarounds or anything like that. It does replenish. Like here, you'll notice that there's a bar on the lower left, even though it's depleting, that will stay there. Now, after I'm out of silent mode, it'll replenish again. Ooh, there we go. The other thing about the stun gun... Oh, boy. The other thing about the stun gun is that you don't have to worry about hitting them like in the head or anything, and they will drop. It doesn't give you bonus points, but it does give you the fact that you ended up killing them mercifully. No, you knocked them out instead of killing them. That's what I mean to say. We always want to check lockers. We always want to check different stuff here. Otherwise, we could totally miss something that's extremely important to the story. Okay, maybe not that bad, but you'll end up missing some stuff that goes on. At least items. This is just a book basically going over some of the other stuff that's happening within the worlds. Augmented people, of course, not being really liked too much or looked into, which is a shame. Now, what we can piece together from...
Miller, I've disabled the Jin's comms booster. Should make it harder for them to listen in on the deal.
Good work. With luck, Singh's cover will still be intact when this is over.
Roger that. Moving on to primary target now.
Time to go. I think that's everything. I'm gonna... I think I missed one thing, which is a ladder back here, and I do want to jump up that real quick. Where is it? There it is. Actually, I did go up this ladder, didn't I? Whoops. That's okay. To show you an alternate path, because there is one, I'm going to actually go down here. And down here is where I had come out of the vent to pop up behind these guys. And here is the vent that I can actually get inside. And if I keep going, this is the room that we just came from with the signal jammer. And the reason I came down here is just to get back to that door. So here we go. The nice thing with it, you're awarded EXP for looking through different areas, taking different and alternate paths. So you are rewarded for going different places and exploring.
Jensen, we're inside the atrium, taking up positions on the terraces. What's your 20?
Still moving.
Well, hurry the fuck up. Enemy helo is inbound and this sandstorm's getting close. You get that comms booster disabled?
Affirmative. Booster's fried.
So maybe the Tin Man does have a heart after all. Way to look out for your team. Creedy out.
Okay. Unfortunately, as we know too, from the keypad that we had, the whole reason that these guys ran into the problems they did with the corpses in the stairway is because the Jinn decided to move them in there. A little morbid. Alright, so we got another anomaly. They picked up on me. I'm just gonna keep moving. Good thing is, in the beginning here, I'm given plenty of time to take care of all of this. I don't have to worry so much.
Access granted.
I don't have to worry too much about getting caught in these beginning spots. You really don't. But some of the later ones, I already know are going to get massively awful.
This is Jensen. Penthouse access route secure. Jin shouldn't be a problem. Over.
Copy that.
About fucking time. Enemy helo sighted. All right, strike force. Position and hold.
Strike 1, in position.
Strike 2, all set. Strike 3, yeah.
Strike 4, in position and holding, boss. Eyes up, safety's off, guys.
Yeah, no shit, brown nose.
Watch your fucking mouth, Halliday.
Both of you shut up. 5 in position.
Everybody stay sharp. Singh's got eyes on Shepard. Patching you in now.
Target's in the AO. Remember, Singh's down there, so watch your fire.
You got balls, Singh? Executing a buy with a sandstorm on her ass?
I cannot take credit for Mother Nature, mister.
You can call me Shepard.
How biblical. Are these the weapons?
The Ogs. They're getting harder to come by. Guns are still on the chopper. Show me the cash, quick, and we'll...
Oh, what the? The park has been crashed. Shepard is dead.
What? By who? What's going on down there?
Miller, this isn't the Jinn. Repeat, it's not the Jinn.
They're after the weapons. Open fire! Open fire!
Weapons free! Open up on...
Greedy, making a grab for the chopper. You got a shot?
Negative. Negative. We're under heavy fire down here. We can't let that chopper take off, Jensen.
I got it.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to actually use a biocell here because I know that's going to get a little huffy down there. And I'm going to stick to my stun gun as best I can. So.
This is bad! They're closing in! We're going to lose Singh! Jensen, I can't reach him!
There we go. Icarus is the ability that I have in order to...
Jensen, this sandstorm might have just bought us some time, but you need to disable that chopper.
Copy that.
There we go. Again, I'm taking a little time just to loot these guys and move on. I did chuck a gas grenade down here. I'm not sure if it hit anybody. It sounded like it did. Ooh, it did! Look at that! He's down on the ground. I get him. Alright, so we're moving up. What I really want to do is try to keep as stealthy as possible. If I do not, then I run a chance of one particular thing happening, which I'll cover here in a second. But I really want to get closer and take a couple of these guys out. So there's one guy. We got another biocell. Perfect. Next, move up here a little bit more. Now Singh's up this way. I'm gonna actually run over here though. Grab the battery. Ghost.
Miller.
When you get the title Ghost, I'm sorry to talk over these guys real quick, that's nothing too big. When you get Ghost, it means that you were never spotted throughout the whole thing. It's a small EXP boost for those that are doing a full stealth run. It's not as much as what you would get, though, if you just go around and stun people.
Artificial eyes to prosthetic limbs.
From molecular-sized computers.
Human-controlled evolution available to all.
We will merge with machines, with computers.
When this is done, the Illuminati won't be able to control men and women like you. No, stop! And plan. Scenes of horror on the streets of Detroit. What kind of madness has gripped mechanically augmented people?
Shanghai, Los Angeles, Ankara, Dubai.
People are dying out there. Millions of people.
The search for survivors in Pangaea has been downgraded to a recovery mission.
The Czech Republic leads a growing list of countries calling for the relocation of its augmented citizens.
It's a new world, Adam. It's afraid of people like us.
Bust into safe and secure segregation industries closely to the worst.
You didn't think it would end with the AUG incident, did you?
We were victims. This is retribution for a tragedy we cannot control.
They control the news. They buried the truth with disinformation.
Possible detonations. Looks like
terrorist attack, this time in a police station.
The United Nations Security Council has tasked
The new anti-terrorist intelligence and response team will have global jurisdiction. 29.
Agent Jensen.
I won't let it happen again.
So we're truly beginning. What I'm actually going to do there, guys, is stop right here. I'm probably going to keep playing a little longer, maybe even record another episode, but I do want to go ahead and end on a couple closing thoughts. If this sounded tired at all, I am sorry. I have been trying this for about 10 to 12 times now, trying to get this to work out. To those that have supported me so far along the way, thank you very much. I've just been trying my hardest to make sure that I want to get this. I want to make this Let's Play because this is a very important game to me. I also want to go ahead and commentate over it because I honestly want to involve you guys. But that being said, I'm going to leave it here. We'll pick it up on part 2, and we'll see what ends up happening to Jensen and where he's going to end up. A couple of you may already know. But that being said, again, my name is Beard Grizzly. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys ended up liking what you saw here, hit the subscribe. If you guys liked what you saw here, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like or dislike button to let me know that you guys did enjoy it or didn't enjoy this content. But again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode. See ya.